Hi everyone, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Macy. Today we'll be learning how to cut this beautiful black top that I'm putting on. It have a ruffle sleeve. As you can see, it has a ruffle sleeve. Okay, you can see that it's very beautiful. It looks like ready to wear. You can rock it with your trouser or skate, guys. As you can see me rocking mine. So if this is what you're interested in, keep on watching, guys. I use 1 yard of lycra material for this and 1 yard of organza. You can as well use net, but you should double the net. Okay, the organza is for the sleeve, for the ruffle sleeve. I also use a bias. You can see my bias for piping the neckline and also the armhole. I'll start by folding the organza lycra into 4 for the front and back. I've folded it into 4, so the cutting will be for the front and the back. All right, I'll start by cutting the back first. Every measurement will be for the back. I'll mark my shoulder, which is 8 plus half is going to be 8.5. That is, my shoulder is 16. From the shoulder I will get my bust, which is 10, and I will get my waist. From shoulder to waist, 16. There I will get the length of this top. All right, depending where you want your length to get to, you mark it out. I'm going to rule it out. So guys, my shoulder is 16, divided by 2 is 8. From the bust I'll go up by 2 to get my chest line, and that will be the starting of my armhole. You can see that I have marked my armhole, so I will label it my chest line. B is for the bust, and my waistline. Sorry guys, this fabric, this lycra fabric doesn't retain chalk. Sorry if you are not seeing it clearly. So I'll put my neck depth width, which is 3. The back and front neck deep width is going to be 3 inches. The depth for the back is going to be 1.5, and I'll put it down. The front is going to be 7 inches. The neck line of front is going to be 7 inches. That is the depth. I'll mark it, but remember that we are cutting the back first. But I'll just mark my 7 inches depth for the front. I'll mark it out. I'll use my ruler to curve out the neckline for the back. So guys, while you are cutting, please know the place that is stretchy. Make sure your stretchy fabric is on horizontal area, please. So on the shoulder, armhole, I'll go down with 1 inch and make my shoulder slope. Make sure that your stretchy fabric, the stretching fabric, you should place it on a horizontal area, please, horizontal line. Okay, so I'll divide what is left on the armhole like we normally do it. Whatever it gives to me, I'll mark it. But remember, this is, I'm cutting the back armhole, so I'll go in by 0.5. The front is going to be 0.7. You can go in with 1 inch for the front, but I'm going in with 0.7. But I'm cutting the back armhole. Back and front armhole is not going to be the same, so I'll go in by 0.5 and curve my armhole out. You can see how it looks. So I'm going to put down my measurement, my bust measurement, divide by 4. I'll mark it there, plus 1 inch seam allowance. Guys, this lycra fabric is too stretchy. Even I don't even supposed to put the seam allowance, but to be on the safer side, I put 1 inch seam allowance. I'll bring it down to the bust. Then on the waist, I'm going to put down my waist measurement and 1 inch seam allowance. Then on the hemming part, I'll put down my hip measurement. Okay, depending where the top gets to you. If it's on the hip line, you put down your hip measurement. and mark half an inch. If you're using a lycra material, I put down half an inch on that, the down part. I put down my hip measurement plus half an inch. Okay, then I'll use my ruler to connect it. I said I put hip measurement on the down part plus half an inch. I'm done connecting it. The next thing for me to do is to cut. If you are not using a lycra fabric, please make sure you put all your normal seam allowance, please. Why I'm putting 1 inch seam allowance is because this lycra fabric is too stretchy. So I'm done cutting. I'm going to separate. Let me trim. Okay, I'll be separating the back. Sorry guys, on the down part of this fabric I joined. Okay, this is I'm using the remaining of my lycra fabric to make this tutorial. So I've gone in on the center of this armhole. I've gone in with 0.3. I went in with 0.3 and I will curve it out. That is the front armhole. I'm done curving it out. I've marked it out with my chalk. So I'm going to curve out the front neckline. Remember, if you watch closely, you see that this neckline has a V curvy shape. The front has a V curvy shape. So this is how you are going to place your ruler to curve it out. Okay, it's not that V straight line, it's a little bit curvy. All right, so place your French curve and curve it out. So I'm done curving it out. I'll cut out my remaining front armhole. Okay, I'll cut the neck. Okay guys, I'm done cutting. When I open it up, this is how it's looking. You can see that the V is not straight, it's a little bit slanting. So I'm going to use this bias to pipe the mouth, pipe the armhole area, both the front and the back. Then I will like join it. Okay, after piping, I will join the shoulder together. I'll join the shoulder together. So guys, I'm done joining the shoulder together, and I've torn up the neckline with this bias. Okay, you can see the way the front neckline is looking. But if you don't want your stitches to show on the front neck, you can use your invisible thread to tack it. Okay, I'm done piping the armhole area as well. So what I was saying before, I'll measure the armhole area, because that is what I'll be using to gather my ruffle. My armhole area is 18, so I'm going to multiply it by 3. But because the organza is 60 inches, is 60 inches by length, I'm going to be cutting 16. On fold is going to be 8. Okay, so if I multiply 18 into 3, is going to give me like about 54. But I'll be using the length of this organza, which is 60, is enough for the gather. So I'll fold my organza like so. Okay, unfold is going to be 8 plus half inch is going to be 8.5 for the joining, for the turning up. So here I have 8.5. If you open it up, it's going to be 16.7. I'll also cut for the other sleeve. Look at it, 8.5. Okay, so I'll close this area and also close the mouth as well. I'll turn it up, so it's 16.7 over there. I also cut for the other sleeve. Then I've run a gather on the center. You can see the way I turn it up. I've run a gather on the center, and that is the gather stitch you are looking at. Yes, so I will start gathering like so. You know the way we gather, we make a gather. Okay, I remove one thread and start gathering. I've done that on the other one of the sleeve. I'm just trying to show you how to gather what I did. Okay, so I'll gather it to the length of that 18 inches for my armhole. It must be to the length of that 18 inches. So let me show you the one I've made before. It's going to be up to 18, because whatever your armhole is, if it is 16, you gather to 16. So this is the one I've gathered already. So I'll open it up like so. This is how it's going to be while stitching it on the armhole area. You see the place I run a stitch. To hold my gather, that is the center of this gathering. Is up to 18 inches. Okay, so guys, this is how you are going to place it on the shoulder. When you come to the shoulder area, on the center of the shoulder, you can go in with 1 inch. You go in with 1 inch. Okay, on the center line of the shoulder, you can go in with 1 inch and start stitching it on, or you can start on the place you pipe it, like on the place the bias is, but I went in with 1 inch. You pin it up and start running a stitch on it. I'm just showing you what I'm going to do. So I went in with 1 inch. If you don't want to go into with 1 inch, you can place it on your shoulder, on the piping area, or you go in with half an inch. But I went in with 1 inch. Okay, and pin it up. After pinning it down, then I start to gather. I start to stitch, because I've already gathered it. After that, after gathering, this is how it's going to look like. Then you shape your top. All right, so guys, here comes to the end of this tutorial. You can see it's very easy. You can shape. After shaping, you put your ruffle. So guys, here is the result of our ruffle. You can see it looks beautiful. Thank you guys for watching. Please, if you haven't subscribed, do subscribe. Okay, God bless you. To all my subscribers, I am seeing you guys. Thank you so much, and God bless.